Hey folks, today I'm going to do an overview of the Momentum program entitled Buyer Conversion. This one is really near and dear to my heart. I really struggled when I was selling real estate in figuring out a very systematic, high quality, and streamlined approach to working with buyers when I first got into selling. And it really created a lot of frustration for me. I was following buyers around. I wasn't leading people through a quality transaction. I wasn't doing the same thing over and over again. So I was pretty much giving them service based on the way they were treating me, on their demands, and it was really a disaster. I'll be honest with you. It was terrible. So this course is near and dear to my heart, along the same lines of a course that I also created that I teach, which is called Let's Play Ball. It is designed around a baseball analogy. So when I first saw the Momentum material, I was thinking, well, mine's better, because I really like the way I use the baseball approach. But when I really started listening to the Buyer Conversion course and listening to what David Scott put together, I realized that it complements what I already do and what I already teach very, very well. So I've actually been able to blend the two of these courses very nicely, and it's very, very powerful for the folks that really spar with this material and start to put these systems in place and make some things non-negotiables. So you're going to hear a lot. There's a lot of information in the Buyer Conversion. There's a lot of steps. What I want you to encourage you to do is, as you take the classes in person, I want you to pick out pieces of the conversion that really resonate with you, things that you're going to work on your dialogue and how you're going to get better at your craft, at articulating your value, and really taking people through a very high quality process. So without further ado, I'm going to hop on into the material. I'm going to go through not all of the material today. This is really designed to give you an overview of what you can expect when you come and take the classes in person. So this is supplemental material just designed to really help you come back. You can come back to this. This will be a shortened version than the 2-hour class that you'll be taking online, but it'll reinforce some of the highlights. And I'll also talk about things that I was able to put into my business that turned into really big wins and had me getting a lot of referrals. So I'm hoping that that'll transfer into your career as well. So let's go ahead and get into the Buyer Conversion material now. All right, so here we are, Buyer Conversion. Again, near and dear to my heart because I had to really spend a lot of time learning how to do this. Listings came a lot easier to me. I think there's a lot more training on listings and listing conversations and pricing and all those types of strategies. I didn't find as many training opportunities for this. So I kind of hodgepodged it from several, Joe Nego, Brian Buffini, Pat Finnick. They all really had a hand in helping me systemize my approach. So it's great that you have a place for a one-stop, awesome foundation. And if you'll just do what you're told, it's amazing what'll happen in your career. So the purpose is that first of all, we want you to be intentional and proactive. We want you to be super focused. And we want to make sure that your buyers have a quality experience. It's the experience that you take people through that they refer. It's not the fact that you help them find a home. It's the experience. So everything we do, we need to be talking about experience. We also want to make sure that you can quickly identify serious buyers from people that are just looking. Not that we're going to ignore people that are just looking, but they're going to get a different level of our time commitment than serious buyers. So the plan is, we know that we have to lead generate first. So you have to figure out 2 to 4 different high quality lead generation platforms that you're going to master over the next 5 years. You need to get good at them. You only need about 20 hours until you should start to get results from anything. 10,000 hours is to master, but 20 hours will get you a basic working knowledge of any lead generation plan that you decide to commit to, where you should start to get some results. We're looking for new business, repeat business, and referrals. This is a buyer-concentrated course, and then we're going to take them through a high-quality system and hopefully generate more, okay? So the whole momentum way is that you need to start thinking about your clients in stages. Everyone that comes to you is going to be at a different stage in the buying process, depending on where they are. And it's very important that we start to actually communicate with them where they are in the process and not try to speed them along. So we want to make sure that we take them through these 5 stages. This is a way for you to really facilitate these buyer conversations and really be a top-notch professional so that they are blown away by your service and are going to tell everybody, listen, don't go it alone. Don't go it with someone that's part-time. Don't go it with someone that does not have a proven system. You need to work with Joe. You need to work with Sue. You need to work with Holly. They really have got their act together. We need to be demonstrating and earning people's business. We don't make money. We earn money. We don't just get referrals. We earn referrals. So it's really important that you really dig your heels in and be the passionate professional that I know you want to be. So this is kind of cool. I love when we get to see the financial security tables of people that are effectively lead generating and lead converting. So you'll notice, don't think you're going to be an expert right out of the gate if you've never taken someone through a high quality buyer conversion process. I think we have these unreal expectations and we just want to be good right out of the gate. We want to be great right away. And we need to allow for learning. We need to allow for mistakes. We need to allow for being nervous. We need to allow for staying in our comfort zone. You know, this stuff works so much easier. No offense, old timers, me included. People that don't have any preconceived notions or bad habits are so much easier to work with because they don't try to fight this. They're doing what they're told because they're in learning mode. They're open-minded. They want to do something because this is a proven system. So it becomes very effective for people that don't have any bad habits to break. Sorry. But you have to just first get consistent. So you have to first consistently go through these steps, and it's going to be very, very difficult. So I'm not going to try to sugarcoat it. I'm not going to say it's easy. You're not going to do it perfect right away. It's going to be painful. You're going to forget to say this. You're not even going to do that. You're going to skip this. You're going to do it backwards. You're going to not say anything. You're going to do it all. Who cares? It's fine. It's fine. Don't be so hard on yourself. Let yourself first become consistent. You will then move into the awesome phases, which is efficiency and then proficiency. And through that, you'll be able to see how your results will continue to improve and improve and improve. And it's a fun journey. So look at it as a journey. Look at it as a learning journey, you know, hard knocks, putting the time in, putting the effort in, and the rewards are huge, huge. Just doing, you know, 3 appointments a week, 45 weeks a year can yield you 64 transactions. I know a lot of agents that don't even come close to that number. So this is what can be if you're willing to put in the effort. Remember, there's no full-time pay for part-time work. So real estate is a very difficult business to open. Lots of hours, lots of hard work, lots of failures, lots of no's, and then there's lots of yeses, and there's lots of fun, and there's lots of passion, and it's really cool, and it's very rewarding. But you're going to go through a lot of other things before you're going to get to all of that. And you have to have that expectation. So many people just think it's going to be easy, this is going to be great. Whew, sorry, it's not. So the know, do, and have of buyer conversion, okay? You're going to have to know some dialogues. We are going to be very heavy on the dialogues. Momentum is all about you speaking a different language, walking a different walk, talking a different talk, and living a very different life than the typical agent. So it is very heavy on the dialogues. The good news is you're going to turn the dialogues into who you are with your personality, your characteristics, and that's what's going to shine through when you get in front of your clients. Not necessarily what is on these sheets of paper. I'm going to show you how to effectively master these dialogues so that you speak a different language, provide a different value, articulate yourself in such a manner that people cannot wait to tell others. When you hand them the car magnet with your name on it at closing, they're going to be excited to put that on their car. Okay? That's what you're thinking of. And that's a joke in case you didn't laugh. Then there's some things that we want to have. We want to have the criteria sheet, the my role, your role, the buyer's rep agreement, the purchase and sale agreement, any addendums, letterhead, and a note card. So I'm going to add in some other things that you're going to want to have. But I love that they kind of outline, hey, this is what you're going to have to know, this is what you're going to have to do, and this is what you're going to have. So it is the blue footprints of how to work with buyers. Now you just have to follow along in the blue footprints. So this is kind of a way to see how well you can follow instruction. How well can you learn and implement and do and then know? Like this is a test. So you should be looking at all of this as a test of your skill set. And you should be super hyper passionate about perfecting your skill set, because you only get one chance to make a first impression. So I hope you're thinking about that. You know, when you answer the phone, when you answer that email, when you respond to a text, when you do a video, you have one chance to make that first impression. So I just hope that it's a good one. Always check your attitude. You'll notice when we go through the momentum courses, we spend a lot more time on this in the in-class sessions, but it's talking about your beliefs. And I cannot stress the importance of beliefs enough, because beliefs will drive your actions. So your actions all come from your belief system. So everything has to be in full alignment. And a lot of what I do with folks is help them get in alignment with their beliefs, because if their beliefs are right, then I know the actions will follow. Don't try to go against your beliefs. So when we do this in class, we'll spend a lot more time on core beliefs, and we'll get to the heart of some of yours and some of the things that may be blocking your success. So we know that your only limit is time. We've had, you know, you're going to go through the activities management system. Super important that you make sure that you redirect yourself every Sunday so that you don't drift. So you have to have that Sunday check-in in your activities management system. But basically, if someone were to come to me and say, hey, Holly, what's it like to be working with a buyer? I'd say, well, listen, you're pretty much going to have 7 buyer responsibilities, and you're going to have to master all of these. So you're going to need to master lead generation, and that's finding people. You're going to have to master lead conversion. You're going to have to master the admin prep, the showing process, writing and negotiating, closing prep, and post-closing activities. That's it in a nutshell. Those are your buyer responsibilities, and hopefully you'll get to a point where you're able to delegate some of these over time. But basically, these are the 7 responsibilities, and now it's up to you to go and learn them to the best of your ability over time. You're not going to master them right out of the gate. 20 hours, and you should have a good working knowledge to be able to effectively work with a buyer, but you should practice for about 20 hours. So when we go through the Vital Buyer Activity Checklist, again, this is part of activities management. You need to know your lead generation systems. Lead conversion, this is the whole portion that we're going to go through in class. It's this pretty much 2 through 6. I mean, basically, that really is it. This is what we're going to talk about today. Meeting in the office, getting on the selling channel, and then having that buyer conversation. That buyer conversation will make or break your career with buyers completely. It's all in your strategy session. And if you're not having a strategy session, you're probably not experiencing the level of success and or referrals that you could be from your buyer clients. And then we have all the other things. So I encourage you to print out the 47 vital buyer activities and then go through each one line by line to see which ones you currently do, which ones you don't do, which ones you should do, and go ahead and add in the things that you do that are not on the list, because all of us need to be working from a vital activities checklist so that you can be productive and not busy. We want you to be proactive and intentional. If you're doing things that are not on this list in reference to buyers, then you're probably doing something that is for no reason. So again, we're going through. This kind of gives you a whole overview. Someone's like, what's it like to work with a buyer? I'm going to hand them these 47 things, and I'm going to say, these are all the things that you're going to be doing with buyers. Start to become familiar with these things. Learn how to do these. See what you can delegate. Learn them first so that you can delegate them later. So we have results by design. So we do have a mission. The mission for you is to ensure that buyers who work with you get the home they want and want the home they get. That's the mission. That really is the mission. Then you're going to have a vision. So your vision is that serious buyers are taking an intentional, proactive, and focused approach to finding and purchasing their home. And this whole model is relationship-based. So it's a relationship-based model. Excuse me. It's a relationship-based model, and it's going to be a collaborative approach. So you are really going to be working as a team with your buyer client. The approach is you're going to have your meeting. You're going to establish leverage. We want to establish their buying power so that we're not showing homes that, one, they would never end up buying, or two, that they can't afford and they could never actually have. We want to identify all the appropriate options, remain focused and proactive, make informed decisions, negotiate repairs, and realize aspirations. So there's some indicators of success, and we go into this a little more in detail, but things you need to be thinking about. How many homes do you typically show people before they make an offer? What is your list price to sales price ratio? That's part of your negotiating, right? What is the percent of all the people that you show homes? How many people actually end up buying a home with you? These are things that you're going to want to start tracking in your career. Very, very important. It also helps you start telling stories to other buyers. So it's very important. When you get with a new client, you should already be setting an expectation. You know what, Joe? I'm super excited. We're going to go look at 6 homes today. And you know, it's kind of funny because the average number of homes that people view before they make an offer, guess what it is? See, you're telling a story. Well, I don't know. What is it? It's about 9. We're going to go look at 6 today. You might find one today, but it's not uncommon for us to have to go back out. So don't get discouraged. You know, let me know how you're feeling along the way. And then, of course, you're always going to want to go ahead and get buyer testimonials. Okay? You want to get client testimonials from all your clients. Those testimonials will actually help reinforce who you are, what you do, what your service commitments are. And they're also great pieces that are leave-behinds. And some people might ask for your references. I think we should be offering references to clients, unsolicited. So if I was going to go on a buyer consultation or a meeting, I'd say, listen, I would love for you to, you know, speak to some of my other clients to hear their level of satisfaction, things that they liked about working with me. Most of the time, they're not even going to take you up on that if you offer it unsolicited. So it's also very attractive to people that you're willing to put testimonials out there before even being asked. So it's a very professional, top-notch quality thing that you can do. So the 5 stages are pre-conversation activities, message 1, 2, 3, and then post-conversation activities. So we're going to go through these. We need to set the tone. We need to define their perfect home. We need to go through roles and expectations, and then other things. One thing I would like to stress to you, and you'll notice when you come and take class, this is one of the slides, meet in the office. You know, it's 2018. You know, people don't want to go to the office. It might not even be convenient to where they're looking for homes. What we need to be is meet where they want to meet. That's really what this should say. Make it convenient for people. We have no problem going to sellers' houses when they want to list a property. We run right over, so apparently they're safe. But for some reason, we never make the offer to go to a buyer's house or go to a buyer's office, to a conference room, meet at a Starbucks. I don't encourage you to meet at the house to try to have a strategy session, but you'll have to figure out the best case scenario for what works for you. You do also want to make sure that you are handling your leads based off of where the lead came from. So it's very important that your conversion skill set matches the type of lead that you're generating, and only you are going to know that. So you're going to have to master that. I actually teach a class on that, and that is generating the leads, the easy part. Because what I found is generating leads really is easy. It's the converting that we just fall apart on because we're terrible at follow-up. So you really want to make sure that your lead conversion skill set matches the type of lead that you're generating, and I encourage you to always have an in-office meeting. You need to be setting strategy sessions, whether it's in the office, at the Starbucks, in their office, at their home. You need to have a strategy session. You need to be a professional. You need to set expectations. You need to lay out the groundwork for a successful transaction to occur. So I'm going to encourage everybody, don't be a Pavlovian realtor. So the phone rings, it's a potential buyer, let's go look. That's a dangerous way to live in the buyer world. It's also very unproductive, and it could cost you a lot of time and money. So there really is a better way, and that is when the phone rings and it's a potential buyer, you want to bring them into the process of who you are, what you do, and how you do things. You want to lead them through a quality transaction, and that's really what I'm going to encourage you to do, and that's really what Momentum's all about. It's bringing people into the process of how you do business. So a couple of these I'm just going to go through a little bit quicker. You're going to have access to all this material. So what I encourage you to do is every time you take a Momentum course, you need to be 3-hole punching it and putting it into a binder. This material is not once and done. go one time and then you're done. It's not go and don't take notes. You are absolutely required and expected to spar with this material. And SPAR stands for study, practice, put into action, and repeat. Review, mastermind, network on this material. You will not listen to buyer conversion one time and then go do it. You won't. I mean, I've been working with the Momentum material almost 4 years now, and nobody's ever done anything after the first time hearing it. I mean, the stats are terrible, but the good news is people still keep coming back, and now they're starting to implement, because now it's starting to get into their DNA, and it's starting to seep into who they are and what they do and how they speak, and it's starting to transform agents' lives, but it is a darn process. So we cannot think that this is all going to happen overnight magically. You're only going to retain 6% of the material that you hear today and what you hear in class. So you have to be prepared to dive all in. And when you're all in, it means that you're patient, you're willing to endure, you're committed, you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, you're open-minded, you know, and you're in for the long haul. So learning is fun, and it's a great process, and it's wonderful to improve your skill set. So if you'll look at it as a journey, as a learning journey that's fun and exciting, then you're going to have an amazing career, and your clients are going to benefit from who you are. And when your clients benefit from who you are and what you provide, they can't wait to tell others. So it is pretty exciting. So please be prepared to go through all of this. And a lot of these dialogues are practiced right in the class. So it'll be really fun that you have time now to kind of soak in this stuff before you actually take the class. And the cool thing is that you can listen to this over and over and over again. So it kind of gives you that reinforcement that you need to the course material, okay? So just a couple of things here. Again, you want to just get into the zone with people, right? So you need to break the ice. You need to be a really good rapport builder and question asker. So you need to ask really good questions. So I'll give you a full sheet of tons of questions that you can ask buyers. And we'll talk about building rapport and, you know, trying to find commonality and really trying to get to the crux of their motivation and their needs and their wants and their time frame and their financial comfort zone and all of that in such a way that people are now endeared to you because you're confident, you're enthusiastic, you're excited, you're passionate, you're enthusiastic, you love what you do, you take an interest in other people. Those are the skill sets. Most of the skills that people need to work on are simple rapport building, believe it or not. They're just not coming across in a way that's, you know, turning people on to say, yeah, I want to work with this person. They seem to know what they're doing. They have a process. They like what they're doing. They're upbeat. They're enthusiastic. They care about what I have to say. They're listening to me. They're explaining the process. They're setting expectations. That's what people want. We might think that they don't because we have a problem of thinking for other people. We need to stop that. We need to stop that, get grounded in who we are, what we offer, and you know what? People will love it. And if they don't, that's fine. There's always someone that will just open doors and not provide any value. Like, that's always going to be out there. Who cares? There's plenty for all of us. We live in a world of abundance. So the first thing we want to do is set the tone. And what we want to do when you study this material, I want you to key into all the verbiage in the Momentum material that is in bold. Anything that's bolded is designed for you to take ownership, and that has to be included in your dialogues. So the way that I teach agents to learn the dialogue that's been very, very effective and a way for you to turn it into your own is to say, okay, I'm going to set the tone. So I need to get across to a buyer that I work with a win-win relationship. So the foundation for a win-win working relationship needs to be established. So the sentence, the foundation for a win-win working relationship needs to be established. The best way for you to ever say that sentence in a conversation with a buyer is to take the entire paragraph. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, first let me say that I really appreciate you meeting with me, and I want you to understand that my goal today is to establish the foundation for a win-win working relationship. A lot of real estate agents are willing to sacrifice a win-win relationship in order to simply sell a house. And I want you to know right up front that I don't operate that way. With me, it's win-win or no deal. There is no way on the planet, don't tell David Scott, that I'm going to say that. I'm not going to say it. I am not going to say that verbatim. Not happening. Sorry, don't tell David. But When I read that paragraph out loud 50 times, not 41, not 35, you can go over 50, but you can't go under. You're going to read that win-win sentence, that paragraph, out loud in your office with somebody else, by yourself, in bed, in the shower, I don't care where, 50 times. And then you're going to say to yourself, okay, the next time I'm working with someone, I'm going to set the tone and tell them that I'm looking for a win-win working relationship. And the 51st time, you're going to flip the sheet over and you're going to say what's going to come out with your personality, with the words that you would use, exactly what makes sense to you, and it's going to be so good. So I encourage you, when you go to say it yourself, put your phone on record and record yourself, because the first thing that comes out of your mouth is going to be great. So for me, I might say something like, hey, Joe and Sue, thank you so much for taking time to meet with me today. I'm really excited. This isn't going to take that long, but I'm telling you, it's so powerful. And I just want you to know that this is going to set the whole foundation for us to have a win-win working relationship. And you're going to be so glad, because I'm going to save you time, cut down on frustration, and it's going to be a huge win for you. So again, thank you so much for taking the time to work with me, to meet with me, whatever. That's how I would say that paragraph. And it's not Mr. and Mrs. Buyer. First, let me say that I did say that I appreciate. I'm grateful for anybody that gives me the opportunity to let me come teach, train, mentor, coach, speak, help. I'm so great. Like, above all, I'm grateful because I know that there are choices out there, and I know that I'm not the only choice. I would like to be an option for as many people as possible, but I'm super hyper grateful for every opportunity I get, because that's a lot that people entrust in me, and I want to do a really good job. But I'm grateful first for the opportunity, and we all need to be really grateful because we're trying to earn people's business. So setting that tone is really important. So make sure that somewhere in there you say the words win-win working relationship. Next one, agenda. Now, I've already internalized this. This one's easy for me. I have a proactive and intentional approach that when working with my buyer clients, I don't only help them find the home they want, but more importantly, want the home they get. And in this market, it's so important that you don't overbuy and that you get zeroed in on exactly what your needs are versus what your wants are, so that 6 months down the road, you're not saying, why did we buy this? Like, you've got to be able to tell them value for meeting with you and going through the needs and want sheet. You're going to have a brand new needs and want sheet that's customized with you, all fully branded. You're going to give that to every buyer, and it's going to completely change your buyer experience. Your buyers are going to love you for it, and it will completely transform how you operate with buyers. And I'm going to teach you so many in-depth strategies on how to do this, and how oh my gosh, the agents that are using this absolutely love it. It is a complete game changer. And it's unlike what most agents do. Most agents, they might give them a sheet. How many bedrooms? How many baths? No, I've put this on steroids, and you're going to use it all throughout the time that you're working with your clients. It is so powerful. It is so fun. It's awesome. Then we have confidentiality. Somehow you have to let them know that everything that they tell you is going to be held in the strictest of confidence. This is also really great because I hear a lot of agents say, well, my friends didn't want to work with me because they didn't want me to know their business. That means that all that means is that they think you're going to be going telling other people about it. So we need to be telling people that everything's confidential. It's the professional thing to do, and it's absolutely part of our agreement in our buyer brokerage agreement. So we should be setting that tone right up front and assuring them that anything that they share with us will be kept confidential. And then we're just going to go ahead and move into transitional questions, right? So we need to build that criteria. We need to uncover the needs and wants. And this is really great because this will help them. What you're going to do from that sheet is you're actually going to build their search right in front of them. And you're going to use just the ends, which are needs. And in doing the needs and knowing their monthly payment, you want to make sure you know their monthly payment, not their price range. And so I teach you how to do that. But when you build that search with the needs first, and then whatever comes up, then you go through line by line. And if it covers 75% of their W's, their wants, then those are going to be the homes that you're going to focus on first. So it's all in how you set it up and how you articulate it and how you communicate and use this tool. And so you're going to have hands-on training on how to do this. It's so powerful. Oh my gosh, I love it. And it's really a big win. And when we mastermind on this and you hear the agents that come back and talk about how they're doing it, it is fantastic. It helps your client from overbuying. People buy emotionally. It's our job to help them justify logically in between 5 and 7 areas. So that helps our clients not overbuy, and then they really appreciate us, and it helps us do that. So here's a sample. I've created one that's, you know, a little bit better, but this was just an example. It wasn't, you know, meant for you to make copies of it with momentum and page 20 on it anyway. So you'll get the one that you can edit and customize and fully brand, and it needs to get in every buyer's hands immediately. An internet lead, when you start working with somebody, when you meet with them at the office, you want to hand this out as many times as possible and make sure that you have it fully branded with all of your information. And like the paragraph that I have at the top, you're going to really like, but you can edit it as well. Then we can go ahead and prioritize the wants. So that's fantastic. You can go through that process of prioritizing. And we also want to make sure that we understand their motivation. So we uncover their needs and wants, and then we have to determine their time frame. So a little trick that I used to do when I was selling is I would buy a bunch of calendars. And right now we're in June. So if it wasn't a cash buyer, they could still close in July. So I might open the calendar to July and say to them, okay, so now we figured out your needs and wants, and we're going to go ahead and build your search. But before we do that, hold on. Here, let me give you the calendar. Go ahead and circle our drop dead date. How much time do we have to find you your perfect home? And then just hand them the calendar and be quiet. That immediately is going to let you know by their body language. They're either going to sit back like, ooh, well, I don't know. We kind of have time on our hands. Or they might be like, oh, honey, when's the lease up? What was that, July 23rd? Is that, we have to be out July 23rd, right? Let me circle it. You're going to know exactly their motivation, and whatever their motivation is, that needs to be the best news you've ever heard. So if they say, oh my God, July 23rd, you can be like, all right, we're on it. We're going to do it. Can you look at homes during the evening, during the week, or just on weekends? What's your availability? We got to start hitting it hard. This is exciting. We're going to do it. Your home is out there. We're going to go find it, hopefully today. If they're like, well, I mean, I don't know, we kind of have time on our hands. I mean, we're not totally sure. Oh, thank God. Woo. Thank goodness we have time on our side. Oh my gosh. People that come in here and they have to move tomorrow, it is stressful. Good. Whew. All right. So this is perfect. One thing that we just need to be thinking about is what's on the market now. It's probably not going to be here in August. So that's fine, but it'll let us see a sampling so we can kind of take it a little easier. This is great. Whatever their time frame is, it's the best thing you ever heard. If you need to take some acting classes, we can do some role playing. But you just need to let them be. We're not in the business of changing people's motivations. A lot of people say things that aren't true. They're called white lies. They're called, I'm not really sure how much I want to say right now, so I'm going to say something vague because I don't really want to commit yet. See, that's very, very normal. And we should expect that. And it's totally cool by us. We don't care. I'm gonna still stay in touch. I'm still gonna provide value. I'm still gonna do check-ins. If I'm not working with an A client, I might say, hey, do you want to go see this house? I know you're not moving until August, but I don't know, if you saw something, you think you may change your time frame? Like, it's amazing what happens. People's time change. Trust me. The problem is we believe people. Don't believe it. And I don't mean it in a bad way. It's just reality. It's a script. People are giving you a script and we're buying it. Oh my God, we believe everything. We're crazy. So again, this is heavy on the dialogues. Please go in and study these. Study all this before you come and take the course. Oh my gosh, you'll be so much further along. Everything will make so much more sense to you. You'll really be able to tap into the conversation and the input from everybody in the room. So please study. This is your livelihood. If you don't make studying this a priority, then you're not going to have a great career. I can assure you. The people that have good careers in this business know how to talk. That's it. We all know how to use the purchase and sale agreement. We all know how to use a lockbox. We all know how to install a sign. The mechanics of this business is super basic. It's how you resonate, how you communicate, how you articulate, the experience that you take people through. So don't be fooled thinking that you don't have to practice this. The only difference between me and someone else and someone else and someone else is how we connect with people, what we say, how we say it, our knowledge base on when to know what to say and when not to, how to educate, what's important. Like, that's all the stuff that comes from practicing all this. Like, it's years and years and years of practice. You've got to be committed to practicing your craft, because it is so much of what we speak, not what we do. Don't be fooled into thinking, don't be fooled. I've been in this business since 1999. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. So after we figure out their needs and wants and we figure out their time frame, now we're going to go ahead and check their financial ability. And I actually encourage you not to, some of these things I'm not really crazy about here. I'd rather invest in time in a strategy session and then say, great, are you paying cash or do we need to get a mortgage? I'm going to assume that everybody has the option to pay it cash. And then let them tell me, no, I wish I could pay cash. And then you can make a joke of it and say, yeah, me too. I want to be like Dave Ramsey one day. But please don't say the words qualified, pre-qualified. Have you spoken to a loan officer yet? None of that. I want you to immediately go into, so are we paying cash or do we need to get a loan? No, we need to get a loan. Perfect. When would you have 20 minutes so I can have my fantastic loan officer give you a call to start the process? Because if I know anything about my loan officer, it's that if he tells you you can buy a house, you can. 99.9% of homes fail to close due to poor financing, and that's because people make poor choices. So I'm ready to protect you with the best. When would you have 20 minutes, and I'll have Joe give you a buzz? Tonight work, or would Saturday be better? See, I'm not going to ask them, are you already working with a lender? Have you already been? Please don't do that. Please don't do that any longer. Or if you're brand new, good. You're not going to do it because you've never done it. Yay! You're just going to start moving in full force mode. Great. When can I have? And I would hold up my phone and pull up my calendar. I would open my calendar and I'd say, perfect. When would you have 20 minutes? We can get the ball rolling. Oh my God, super easy. You just got a couple of questions to go through, and then we can start looking at properties. So, are the evenings better or Saturday? Don't even stop for a breath. And then if they're like, oh, well, we've already applied for a loan. Oh, super. Who'd you apply with? Hold on. Let me get my notes. I'm going to have to go ahead and call them, introduce myself. See, there's 6 things that I need to know from your lender before we can make an offer. So we can't really go look at homes unless we're in a position to make an offer. So what's his name and number? And I'll call right now. Super excited. Who is it? But you got to get this down pat. You've got, and we'll do it all in class, but I'm just giving you a little precursor. So anyway, we are going to, I do it a little bit different than Momentum, but it's okay. It's all good. Study this, study this. Roles and expectations. If you're working with people, and we'll really get into this because I don't touch it in Momentum, so just buckle your seat in class. Right now we're in multiple offer situations and several price points, not all. But I'm going to show you how to analyze the data and provide information to buyers so that they understand what they're getting into. And then you're going to talk about your strategy that will help your buyer win the bid in a multiple offer situation because you have a proven strategy. So super excited to share that with you. Just buckle up. It's going to be good. We're also going to go through the my role and your role. So David Scott has created this great my role, your role. I recreated it in a Word document so that you can edit it. So you'll be able to edit that. Some of the things you might not want to have on there. You may want to add some things. But what you will notice is that most of the items that are pulled out from my role and your role absolutely come directly from, you got it, the buyer brokerage agreement. But we don't typically go through the buyer brokerage agreement the way we should, most of us. So the my role, your role really helps you solidify the commitment that you all are making to each other. So it's really important. Now you can shorten it, you can take out some things if you don't like it, but this is really important. You've got to set the expectations. And so I really encourage you to do that. So remember, what we're looking for is, I call it MQL. I'm looking for motivated, qualified, loyal buyers. But I want to tell you a little secret. The secret about MQL is that we can't change someone's M and Q, but I can ensure loyalty. And the way that I can create loyalty with people is because I'm willing to invest my time in them. So I'm willing to have a strategy session with every human, whether they can buy lunch or a house or a pair of pants or a pair of shoes or nothing. Like, it doesn't matter to me. I want to create loyalty first, and loyalty comes from investing time in people. When they end up becoming motivated, so their time frame shortens, when they end up getting all their ducks in a row and they actually become qualified, because I've already spent time in them, because I've invested in them, because I've created loyalty, I win. I'm the option. You've got to be building and strengthening and staying in flow with relationships all around you every day. You're in the relationship business. You're in the providing information business. You're in the giving business. You're in the helping business. You're in the, I'm going to talk to as many people as possible, see who I can help. Who can I help today? Where are they in the process? What do you need? Give them a gift card for a coffee. Send them a personal note. You're going to use the top 100. You're going to do all this stuff, and you're going to have a flourishing, awesome, profitable business, and you're going to be super passionate about what you do because you're going to be working with people that you enjoy to be around. Because when you have that strategy session, your gut will tell you within the first 5 to 6 minutes whether or not this is a good fit. And I encourage you to listen to your gut. Women tend to have a better sixth sense on this kind of stuff than men, but please listen to your gut. So do not try to work with everybody, but invest in time in that strategy session no matter where they are in the process, and you will have an unbelievable business. You need to have a weekly appointment goal filled with buyers and sellers. Every week you should have a certain number of buyers that you're trying to sit down and have a meeting with. Doesn't matter when they're ready to buy. That's the problem that most agents make. So I'm going to teach you a better way. Then we have some loyalty dialogue. Again, anything that's in bold, I encourage you to please put into your repertoire and start to get it in. You need to read this stuff 50 times. New construction's an issue. For sale by owners are an issue. So please make sure that you address that with your clients and how you can help them find and work on any home, okay? So again, it's going back through, there's going to be a lot of dialogue. Again, MQL, motivated, qualified, and loyal people buy homes, right? So it's going to take you through closing the first meeting. And these are just great conversation pieces and dialogues and objections and different kind of points that can come up. So you are required to study all this stuff. And then you're going to have your post-conversation activities. These are thank you letters and just kind of all this. And we'll go through all of this in class, okay? And then talk about the showings and what to do when you're in the car, and don't waste time in a neighborhood. If they don't like the neighborhood, turn around and cancel the appointment. So we'll go through all of that stuff with you in class, but please don't skip through any of this. Read through this ahead of time. This is going to give you some great information. I had some people are like, oh my God, when they say they don't like the outside, I'm always like, well, let's just go see it anyway. You never know. And it turns out that statistically, 99% of people, if they don't like the outside, it doesn't matter what's inside. They're not going to buy it because they got to look at the outside every time they come home, and they don't like it. So why waste their time? We're trying to cut down. I'm going to show you all kinds of value points that we bring that really aren't in momentum, but they're true to what's going on in the market right now. It's all going to tie in together, but you still need to have this information up here. So please study it and look through it. Showing homes, again, he's just going to give you some great things in here. The home's too small. It has no view. And remember, if people have objections, they're their objections. We're not in the business of overcoming objections. If it doesn't match their needs and wants, then we should move on. If it's something that's kind of silly that you're like, well, I don't know, then you have to be the gauge of that. But don't try to overcome every objection. Don't try to do that. It's not the best thing to do. So we'll talk about closing dialogues, the momentum close. So this is a really fun process. It's going to talk about multiple offers. He gives great tips when people say, well, I want to think about it. You know, I used to do that all the time. People are like, I want to think about it. Okay, great. Call me in the morning. No. If they say they want to think about it, they might wake up at 3 in the morning and wish they had. So complete the offer. Get it all done in their pause and let them have it. Say, listen, if you have a change of heart in the middle of the night, you already have it. Now you can sign it and get it back to me, and we can act quickly. So just go through with the assumption that, you know what, they're going to think about it. That could be 5 minutes. Like, a lot of people will act differently when they have the option to go ahead and sign it after they talk it out together at the kitchen table, or they're, like I said, they wake up 3 in the morning. Oh my God, we should have done it. Why didn't we do it? You know, we're trying to protect people. So give them the option. If they don't end up wanting it, no harm, no foul, they can rip it up. Who cares? So again, another thing about lowball offers, we're going to go through all of that in class. I have several strategies. So again, here's kind of the recap, and it's right here on a nice sheet. It goes through here. I want to make sure that you're comfortable with every step of the process. Are you going to be comfortable after hearing it one time? No. So you're going to have to spar with the material. You're going to have to take the class over and over and over again. You're going to say this one time, and you're not going to say that one time. And then you're going to forget to say this, and you're not going to say that at all. It's called learning. And you need to embrace the fact that you're not going to be perfect right out of the gate. Who cares? You're going to be great. You're going to be fantastic. You're going to build rapport, and you're going to learn how to be a superstar when it comes to working with buyers. So I'm super excited for you to take the class. Please study this. Come back to it often. Let me know if you have any questions in the meantime, or if you want any of the handouts. I'm passionate about buyers. Buyers actually refer way more than sellers do. So I'm going to show you how to capitalize on that very bit of information. So I hope that this has been a great introduction, if you will, into the buyer conversion course. And I'm really excited for you to take it in class. Please make sure that you're studying. I can't say it enough. The people that study are the people that win, and I really want you to win. So I look forward to seeing you in class, and I hope you enjoyed the overview. See ya.